Beautiful. Nice. Don't really need you, but we're going to be another half an hour after you, but that'll still show me when to come into our nidra, our beautiful meditation tonight. So feeling now you've been on the props for maybe a minute or two. So feeling the shoulders sink down a little bit more with the head propped up on the block. So the block is on top instead of underneath the bolster tonight. And it seems like such a small little adjustment. But for the body, these little adjustments are really huge with time. So if the lower back is really feeling that, have a blanket underneath the sit bones. And if that blanket is, it's the art of folding, so you can fold it again and make it a little higher, so build the floor to you. It feels better to heel toe your feet wide and have the toes inward and have those inner knees knock, or lengthen. And you might want to lengthen for a bit and just see what that's like. And so it'll be a little different than what we have been experiencing in the past with the heart bed. And dial all your attention into your body and all the sensations, and how is it speaking to you? Let yourself settle right in. Little rock to the head on the block. Feel the sensations in the neck, the shoulders as they sink and soften downward. Each inhale fills that heart center, front to back, side to side, top to bottom. This is a beautiful place to set your intention now, to open up, to welcome a whole new set of opportunity, open to the unexpected, loving flow. Maybe you expect it. Perfect. And some people have problems with the word intention. Maybe it's you set a deliberate mindset here. So whatever you'd like to label this, please do. Simply open up and welcome this opportunity to open to a loving flow from your heart outward. As you breathe in that mystery. And as you breathe out, breathing out and letting go of the known, dropping below the thinking mind. Inhale nice and full and deep. Exhale that fullness. 2 cleansing breaths before we dive in to our pranayama. As you breathe in here, all the way in and up, hold, and then exhale through the mouth. And then again, take your time. Feel that wave of breath. All the way in and up. A light little hold, and then exhale. Then go ahead and inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. hold, and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll start to lengthen that breath now. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay with the count. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, and out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, and out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, out. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to equal breath. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one. In. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Follow that exhale. Notice how long and luxurious this exhale is. And as you dive into the next natural breath, notice what you feel. Does it feel like a struggle? Did that breath feel good? Or was it a lot of effort? Are you feeling like you need to catch your breath? There's no right or wrong here. It's the noticing. As you notice all of those sensations that start to come upward and bubble up to the surface in all those areas of the back of the rib cage, where the bottom of the lungs live, the back of the shoulders, where the top of the lungs live. Notice if there's any dull ache there. Can you feel movement? Can you feel a tingling, a sensation, maybe in the jaw, in the teeth, in the gums, in the middle of the brain, into these places where the oxygen advantage is starting to seep in? A tingling, a shimmering, a buzz, whatever that may be for you. Let your body absorb as you observe all of those details, all of those sensations. Take a deep inhale there. And exhale it all out. Let the knees come away from each other if they are, or drag up one heel at a time. Notice which muscles are responsible for this action. With the feet planted at hip distance, we're going to press into the arms down, the palms down, the feet, and a light little lift of the sit bones, and then lower. So maybe just enough to get a piece of paper underneath the sit bone, so not too high, please. And just notice that spot. It might be easier for your body to come up higher. So challenge yourself to stay a little lower to the floor. Notice those vertebrae and gently lift and lower. Just feel that lightness of 1% lift and then lower. Just a light little lift and a little lower. And then relax and soften. And then notice that lower spine in this shape. And so it'll be fun now coming off of this. So before we come off of our support, those of you that showed up late, we have the bolster flat and the block on top. So the shoulders now have dropped, maybe all the way to the bolster, which was quite a long ways. So it's nice to notice these little differences, these little shifts in our body. And then slowly roll to one side and come flat as quick as you can. So it doesn't have to be pretty. So let yourself just come flat. Press the bolsters off to the side, your support, whatever you're using, and then come flat and feel. Right from the targeted area of the shoulders, sweep your awareness down the back body to the hips, that lower spine. Lengthen through one leg at a time. Let the feet splay outward, arms down, knuckles heavy. And now notice the shoulders. Do they feel a little wider, a little fuller? Thanking gravity for doing most of the work in that shape. Just allow your awareness to sit in the shoulders as you observe one shoulder and then the other. You might notice all the way to the elbow and then the other. All the way down to the fingertips, one side and the other. Scan from the shoulders down to the hips, through the legs, to the toes. A light little rock of the back of the skull. It might want to go a little slower if you had your head on the block. And just notice that it wants to go just a little slower. I know in my experience of this shape, that's what comes up for me. So having the head on the block on top of the bolster allows for just a little bit more length in the back, from the shoulders to the back of the skull. So it might feel just a little sensitive, just like you've been pulled apart, like a yin pose. It's temporary. So a light little rock of the back of the skull, and then pause. Notice all the sensations from temples all the way to your toes. Take a deep breath into that. Full appreciation, pouring all the way inward, filling you up. And one more breath, just like that. Then go ahead and bend up one knee at a time. Drag the hips over to one side and roll to the other. We're going to come into now our back bend twist. So if you don't have two blocks, you can roll your blanket into a nice tight roll, and that'll be your pillow. Take your bolster or whatever you're using for your bolster and bring it all the way to your side body so that it's right butted up to your thigh. So some of you might even have your bolster as your blanket, and then you might be using two books or for your pillow. So whatever that is. Then go ahead and bring your forearm down on the other side of the bolster and take the bolster and press the front of it so that it's right underneath the rib cage. So press it back so you have something to roll onto. And then go ahead and come down. That lower arm reaches out from the shoulder, knuckles heavy, palm upward. Take your pillow underneath your head and notice that lower shoulder sink down into the floor. Let it. Let that shoulder, and you might even want to give it a little press with the other arm. You can press down that shoulder so it knows where to go. And then go ahead and place that hand into the lower hand. Adjust the legs, have the top leg resting on the bottom leg, top foot in the arch of the lower foot maybe. And then notice the shoulders, one stacked right on top of the other. One hip over the other, thereabouts. On your next natural breath, go ahead and let that top hand lift. Eyes are closed here. So as it lifts, feel the muscles slowly. Let it lift slowly until the fingertips are pointing up towards the ceiling and you feel a stacking quality, an effortless effort, like someone's holding you from the wrist over the elbow, elbow over the shoulder. Then go ahead and start to spiral it outward in a circular motion. Notice what that feels like. Feel into the neck. Let the head be heavy. Notice the shoulder, the armpit, the rib cage. Is the circle getting really large, or are you keeping it in a smaller circle? It can be a semicircle if there's any discomfort. There might be some muscle amnesia there. So we're reminding it how to move by staying out of discomfort. Move as slow as a second hand on a clock. And then maybe the other direction. So if there's any snap, crackle, pops, it's not necessary to stay in that. So you might want to semicircle into that and then maybe a smaller circle. And then once you feel that you're complete with that, then the hand can come down into the lower hand. Right away, feel where there's some warmth. Let it pour like an hourglass down, down, down through the architecture to the other shoulder, like an hourglass. That sand gently sharing this beautiful warmth. One more breath, just like that. On your next natural breath, feel where the hands are, feel that warmth, and then drag that top hand over to the elbow. Let the back of the head roll on the pillow. Feel where the back is on the bolster. Let that hand drag to the shoulder. Pause. Feel where the back of the head is, the back, all the way through the hip of the legs. Then go ahead and drag the hand over the heart center and let it unfurl outward into a back bend twist. Take a breath. And then let yourself come back the same way by bending the elbow, hand to chest, drag it all the way to the shoulder, back through the elbow, to the wrist, to the hand. You might even want to outreach that bottom hand and come to the temple or the forehead. And now move like that. Just a few. 2 or 3, feeling and sensing the body open up. Noticing any compression in the heart center as we start to amplify all this love on the inside. The theme of our practice, amping up the love vibration on the planet, starts right here. Front to back of the heart here, side to side. Coaxing it wide open, just like this. And maybe that top hand can come up towards the ceiling in an arc, like you're painting a rainbow all the way around you. After a few, you might feel quite elasticy in the hips, and you might love that back bend twist. So stillness feels good, and the arms are wide open like a T. That arm that's been moving, that top arm can reach up above the crown, like a yawn, and then let it drape. And just notice how that feels for a breath, 2 or 2 or 3. If laying on your back feels delicious, but that arm starts to tingle, or you start to lose sensation in the fingers, then leave this shape, but bring the arm to the belly. Just a few more breaths here. Enjoy where you are. Two more breaths. Enjoy this next inhale fully. As you exhale, let yourself pour into the shape that you're now in. As you breathe deeply, go ahead and bring that top hand over to the lower hand and rest for a moment here. Feel where it's warm, any temperature changes from the hip to the shoulder, to the lower shoulder. Take another breath just like that. And then from here, press that top hand into the floor. Go ahead and bring the bolster underneath the ribs so that we come into cobra for a moment, where the navel is down. So if you need a blanket underneath the hips, you can go ahead and adjust and bring a blanket underneath the pelvis. The elbows are on the top of the bolster, hands right in front of you, and if you have a blanket, bring your hands to wrap the blanket and bring your forehead down. Or a yoga block works perfectly, either on large, medium, or small. And you might want to have a breath or two on each. So here I'd like to see the legs a little closer together, hip distance, the big toe in touch and the heels splay out. A lot of times we do this pose, we come into the noble seal where the legs are wider than our mat. But for today, we're saying hello to the muscles up and down the spine. And you might even be able to feel this all the way through the hips, the lower back. Take some deep breaths. Deliberately press the belly down. And as you exhale, feel that navel come a little closer to the spine. So a little muscular effort with that. As you inhale, you press. And as you exhale, go ahead and tuck and hollow the belly just a wee bit. Relax through the jaw. Soften where you can any cascade of tension that might seep in this shape. Feel now the back, where you think the back of the kidneys might live. Right on top, the adrenal glands. So we're having a little afternoon coffee here. A little mindful compression to our back body as we lengthen the front. Nice. And how about one more breath, just like that? On your next natural breath, go ahead and come on over to the other side. So you can have your back to me, that's okay. Let yourself arrange exactly like you were. So set yourself up where the bolster is close to the hip. You come down on the forearm. You're a little ways away, maybe an inch or two away from the bolster with that lower arm, so that when you reach it out, the shoulder can drop in. Then take your pillow all the way into that lower side so that you can rest. And you feel that this is a rest. The top hand can press down that lower shoulder a wee bit. And then it can rest into the palm. So you can observe now this shape with the eyes closed, the hip over hip, a stacking quality, shoulder over shoulder. And just notice this side. Is there any differences? Are they similar? On your next natural breath, feel the lightness of that top hand. Super light. And then it'll have liftoff. Challenge yourself to go a little slower tonight. The arms are the meridians for the heart run right through them. So with that notion, feeling and sensing the arms to the fingertips, all the way feeding into our heart center like this, as you come into the stacking quality of that top arm. Wrist over elbow, elbow over shoulder, feeding into our hearts. Then start to spiral any direction. Notice this circular motion. Notice any wobbles, all those details of sound. Any sensations of gravelly roads, sticky, stuck places. Does it feel good to go really big and large circles around the shoulder? And what's the other direction like tonight? Does it feel graceful in your body? Then once you feel complete, you can go ahead and slowly bring that top hand to rest. Right at the start, right away, feel the temperature of the palms, the shoulder, all the way to the lower shoulder. When you're ready, give yourself permission to stay just like this if you're craving a little more stillness here. Or on your next natural breath, you can start to drag that top hand to the elbow and then pause there. Feel where the seat is, where you're on your support, and where the shoulder to the head is. Then drag the hand to the shoulder and pause. Notice the sensation here. In all the heavy spots, let them. Drag the hand over the heart center and let it unfurl. And then go ahead and bend that elbow. Drag it over the heart center all the way back. And then feel for a moment, shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. Take a breath into wherever you're at. And now explore. Let this be an exploration where curiosity guides you. Is it nice to stop along the way, these little pit stops? Or does it feel good to just move gracefully in a flow, a fluid-like motion, dragging that top hand or coming in and out of that arc where the top hand comes up? And maybe for you, it feels really good on the neck to be rolling the head from side to side. Again, if stillness is calling your name, the top arm can reach up like a yawn right above the crown and let it drape. Feel that line to the hip. Take a few breaths into it. If it feels good to leave it there, you can, or you can bring that forearm to the forehead or hand to the belly. Feeling this heart center, rolling, stillness, opening it up to this love vibration. So go ahead and move with a little bit more self-love, with that notion of filling yourself up each breath. And 2 more breaths here. And then go ahead and allow yourself to come back to your starting point. Top hand rests in that bottom hand as you explore the temperature changes of the shoulders, the hips, the spinal column. Full body integration. Then press into the floor, take your props right out, and from here, stack the hands and come straight onto your belly with the forehead on top of your hands that are stacked. So elbows are out, forehead comes down in a belly down shavasana as you scan your body like this. If your lower back is sore, bring a blanket underneath the pelvis to raise the floor to you. Then go ahead and bend up at the knees and start to spin the feet around the ankles a wee bit. Notice the sounds, the little snap, crackle, pops, and then the other direction. Notice what you feel on the top of the foot. If you've been wearing a lot of boots, hanging on to the icy bottoms, There might be lots going on the top of the feet in the arch. A little paddle, a little sway of the lower leg from one side to the other. Notice the top of the thigh and the width as you roll over the quadricep. Those group of four, a family that work beautifully together. Notice how that feels in the pelvis, the lower back, as the feet start to gently move one side to the other. And then go ahead and place the top of the feet down to the floor. And when they do meet the floor, press the top of the feet into the floor and feel the knees come up. Notice the sensation at the lower spine. There's a splinting quality. And then relax. 2 more times like that. A light little press through the top of the feet down. Notice the muscles of the lower spine come inward as they splint and protect the lower spine. And then relax. And then one more time just like that. And then soften. Coming into snake dance now, go ahead and come on to the forearms, looking down. So here we are on our forearms. You'll feel some weight from the shoulders coming down. The nose is pointing down, eyes are closed. Feel the top of the feet come down. If the lower back is sensitive, for sure. On your next natural inhale, draw a line to the thumbs. Feel the belly come down more. And then draw that line back towards the navel as it peels up off of the floor. A little press through the forearms, chin to chest. Inhale, looking forward. You might relax the legs if there's no discomfort, or give a little press through the tops of the feet so that you feel support. So this one's like cat and cow of the spine. Inhale, a back bend, looking forward. Exhale, chin to chest. We round, drawing the belly up. And then one more just like that. Inhale and exhale. And then from here, you're going to roll onto your backs. We're going to come into a body scan, but before you do, go ahead and take your bolster right above the crown and just leave it there, just like you're wearing you're balancing your bolster here on the top of your head. Just let it just live right there. Arms down. Hands can be on the belly if you're a little bit on the chilly side, or down by your side. You can leave the knees bent if that was a lot for the lower back. We've been doing a lot of back bending, opening up the heart. You come into a lot of back bends. So feeling now quite open, the whole spinal column, all the way up and down, bathing that spinal column with your awareness as you notice the lower part to the hips, all the way up to the shoulders, the neck, the middle of the brain, the top of the spine. Take another breath and just feel all of those sensations. If the knees aren't bent, go ahead and bend one at a time. and plant the feet about hip distance. You can leave the hands on the hips for just a moment here. And then sway the knees one side. Feel the baby toe edge. That knee is going to come down a little lower than the other knee. Feel that big toe edge and press into it and let that hip come up. And feel the hand on that side come up. Now press that hand into the hip, all the way down into the floor. Press that lower spine into the floor. And the knees come over to the other side. Baby toe edge knee comes down a little more. Big toe edge knee might feel like it's coming forward. That hip comes up, heels right up off the floor. That hand, press it back down. And now we're going to move like this, just for a few. Feeling into the sole of the foot, the hips, and the hands. Noticing any discomfort, any little twinges here and there. Not necessary to come up so high into that discomfort. So maybe a micro movement, a smaller movement. And then when the lower spine is down, pause for a moment. We're going to just do an add-on here. So an add-on is an invitation. You can decline. So if this doesn't feel good for the hands to come above the crown to rest on the bolster, then have them down right where we were. So you can hang on with one hand underneath the other so you can be in a bind. So the hand is hanging on to the wrist and the elbows are outward. Feel into the shoulders coming down into the floor, specifically the armpit. As it dilates outward, becomes larger, a little bit more, a little bit more. Feeding into that beautiful heart center like this now. Let's come right back into that twist by allowing the knees to come on over to one side. Feel the baby toe edge, the big toe edge, and that hip coming up. And then breathe into that navel center as you flatten that lower spine into the floor. Knees point to the ceiling. Rolling over to the other side. Slowly, like the second hand on a clock. Notice how the body can move like this. Mindfully, gracefully. Where is that sensation in your body? Knowing that pain is not an option. Heightened sensation, that's okay. You can stay on the other side if it's discomfort. And then start to playfully move. Let the knees sway from side to side. If your favorite part is to press that lower spine into the floor, let that creatively move the knees. And notice if you're coming into the elastic quality now of the pelvis. And one more breath, just like this. Then go ahead and bring the hands down by your side. Heel toe the feet wider and knock the inner knees. Hands can be on the lower belly. You can feel through the palms down into the digestion, through to the floor. From that area to the shoulders, to the middle of the brain. Say hello to the legs, to the toes. And notice what you feel. Connect to that inner grin, that inner smile. Like each cell is filled with a beautiful heart. And what color is that for you? Is it that quartz, beautiful rose color? And one more breath, just like that. Then the knees will come away, drag the hips over to one side and roll. Use that momentum to come up into hands and knees. Just momentarily until you can come onto your forearms. So leave the knees where they are, tops of the feet where they are, and we'll come into cat and cow like this now. So when you're ready, nose is pointing down. Take a deep inhale and draw that line forward, just like what we were doing. And as you exhale, chin to chest, maybe. Let the head drop. Round. Feel the pelvis, the spine move like this. The heart center. Slowly fluidly, filled with breath. And one more just like that. Nice. And then from here, if you don't have a Mitra, so if you have a Mitra with the line on it, bring it right here. And if you don't have one of the Mitras like that, then bring your pool noodle or perfect, roll your blanket tight and bring it all the way up and down your spine. The Mitra, the noodle, or the this foam will be a little different. So bring the bolster close in so that you have it underneath your legs thereabout. The Mitra will come right where the shoulder blades start. So right at the bottom of the shoulder blade, that's your bra strap thereabouts. For us ladies, maybe, if we're wearing one. And then interlace the fingers behind the back of the skull and give a light little bit of traction upward. Feel the length and then lower. A little lift. You give a little bit of a tug upward and then you lower. And then one more just like that. And then lower. So if you're using a blanket all the way up and down the spine, if you're using the harder surfaces, then that's can be right at T7, 8. So if you pressed your finger on top of the sternum, that heart center, with the eyes closed, you might be able to feel energetically that you're on the other side of that. And then take the feet into each other knees outward, and allow the fingertips now to float up towards each other. So now we're holding this sphere of healing energy through the palms. Then bring that up above the crown, closer to the body in a circular motion, like we're pouring this energy, this frequency all through now in a circular motion, up and then down. There's no right or wrong, so you can start to move this circle outward widthwise, like a zigzag from one side to the other. And you might start to move in any which way that feels good. The eyes are closed and we're sensing and feeling all of these sensations that start to wake up. Any places on the back body that might be sleeping. There might be some dull ache start to creep in. We'll be here for 3 more minutes. So let yourself rest. The whole back body rests. The arms can move, or if you're craving stillness, please do. So if you feel complete with this, the arms can come down by your side. We can come into a light little twist of the arm fibers by drawing one palm down and one palm remains up, with the thumbs coming into the floor, just a light little squeeze. Notice the relationship with the Mitra through that little press into the floor. And then you can alternate. The arms can be like the arms of a clock, so they can move at any time on the clock. So maybe you stay twisting, but you move one arm up and leave one arm down. And 1 more minute, just like that. Just a handful more breaths. And one more breath here. Then go ahead and a light little roll to one side as you take the Mitra out and allow yourself to come into Shavasana style pose. You can leave the feet connected if that feels good. We're going to come into a moving meditation, a meditation now. Moving throughout the heart center. Use your blanket as a blanket. Keep all that warmth within. Notice how you feel and what you've generated on the inside. Beautiful. You can bring something over the eyes. Nice. Amplifying the amount of love on the planet starts right here. So go ahead and rub the hands. Just give the hands, the palms, a little rub, a little bit of friction. And feel that friction, that heat. With that notion of clearing and cleaning and charging up these conductors of healing from the heart. And then place one hand on your heart and one hand on the belly as you relax the arms, the shoulders, and feel into the belly as it rises and falls. Right here. And as you breathe deeply, tune yourself into that frequency of love. As you open up to that goodness inside you. As the breath expands, you expand yourself into the space all around you. Take a deep breath into that space. From you to the wall and back to the ceiling and back. Feel that space. Feel where you are in the room. And now from that space, right where you are, beyond that room, traveling through the walls of that building, connect out to your community where you meet all hearts. Breathe into that space. Resist nothing. Each inhale, open up to this frequency of love, this unity. Each exhale, we let go of any resistance, known or unknown. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel the heart center. Connect through the crown now, outwards into the cosmos. Feel that breath aligning you up and down from the earth through that center all the way up. And now feel that meeting place of the heart, that point, right in the center. front to back, side to side. Imagine this shimmering web that connects you, this connectivity between you and all hearts. So many expressions of one love, the one expressed through the many. As we deep breathe here together, feeling into the palms, send that love through all the way into yourself as it fills right up. This reservoir spills right over into your community all around you. From your community all the way out into the world. Together we recognize that this love within, this light, is in all beings. See yourself walking through your life. Imagine this heart-centered light lighting up all around you. Feel that warmth of this glow. And as you walk through your life, see this within everyone. Allow the breath to deepen here. Notice how you feel. Take your time as you start to connect into the fingers and the toes, and you have the luxurious amount of time to feel into the arms and the legs with a long stretch. A hugging in, a rock from side to side. You can roll to one side and rest. As you connect to your inner grin, the corners of your mouth can roll up, and feel all this warmth within start to move. Use that strength now to press into the floor and roll yourself up into a comfortable seated position, and use your blanket as a blanket. Feel all this self-love and take care of yourself Notice how your body wants to sit now in your comfortable seat. So know that the knees do not have to bend. You can lean into your support and use your support underneath your seat. And then as you bring your palms together in front of you, feel that warmth, this goodness within, this light, the light within all beings. Take a breath into it. And as we bow, we pour this out, this heartfelt, beautiful energy out as loving kindness to all. Namaste. And thank you for your practice, everyone. Nice.